you coming to class, that is a good first step in you doing well, doing better than you did first semester, or well, if you already did well. Okay, so number one, come to Zoom. Number two, be ready to turn your camera on. Like I said, if there's a problem with it, you're supposed to be putting it in the chat. So there's a few people right now that I haven't heard from yet, and I'm not going to let it go. So you need to reach out to me, let me know that you are there, and explain to me in the chat why your camera is not on. Okay, otherwise I should see it turning on. Then the other thing that affects is attendance. So if I call on you and I can't see you, I will mark you absent if your camera is on and you're not there. And I guess if it happens more than like once or twice, then I'm gonna call home. Because again, I just want you to be here. Okay, I want you to do well, and that goes along with putting your camera on. Okay, thanks for letting me know. I've now heard from 3 of you, so I appreciate that. Let's see what else. Participation will start today. Let me tell you, if I didn't have you first semester, I have my little clipboard here. Usually it's a seating chart, but this year it's just a list of names. And I give you participation grade probably about every 2 weeks. It's usually an easy grade. It's about 10 or 15 points. And basically what I need you to do is participate. I don't care if you get the answer right or wrong. I just need to see that you are trying and that you are, again, engaging, an active participant, and you get 3 points just for doing that. I allow people to volunteer. Like you'll see today, I'll be like, raise your hand, or you can click on your name and raise your little blue hand. If not, if you never volunteer, I'll still call on you occasionally just to make sure A, that you're there paying attention, and B, then you get a couple free points because you get points whether I call on you or you volunteer. All right, but that should be an easy grade. Like I said, 10 or 15 points every 2 weeks or so. So make sure, you start volunteering and getting your hand up so that I can get you points. So I just mark them down on my little clipboard here. All right, I think those were the main things I wanted to touch base with you about first. So to get us started today, I'm going to ask you to put something in the chat for me. Last night you were supposed to do a Nearpod, and I'm so sorry I've not gotten to look at them yet. I know they're there. So if you didn't do it yet, then you need to go back and do it for me. My plan is to read through those today. What I thought maybe we could do right now is just share one of your answers, okay? So I'm going to ask you to put in the chat. If you want to say it to everybody, you can. If you want it to be just personal, anonymous, you can always just put it to me. I would like you to answer the question, what are you most excited about when COVID is over one day? Hey, what is it that you dislike the most about COVID that you are most looking forward to not having to do anymore at some point? So put in the chat. Like I said, you can put it to everybody, or you can just put it to me and then I'll read through them anonymously so that we can get some answers. All right, so I give you a second. You don't have to use exactly what you wrote on your Nearpod. You can just give me a general answer. And I know a few of you gave me stuff about your camera, so I'll go back and look at that too. Otherwise, I'm going to keep bugging you. I want to know why it's not on. Okay, Katie, good. Hamza, okay. Okay, Leo, got it. All right, I'm sending a couple of you a little personal note. In the meantime, you're all posting to me, what is it that you're most looking forward to doing when this whole COVID business is done? Here we go. Let's see. Travel, getting rid of masks, concerts, those are great answers. Seeing people's faces and traveling, not wearing a mask, looking forward to concerts. Yeah, I really miss those too. Hanging out with large groups of people, not having to worry about 6 feet and no mask, leaving the house. Yeah, that's always fun. You wouldn't believe how exciting it is. So like yesterday and today, I'm obviously at work and it's like I'll be back at home with my kids tomorrow because I don't have any coverage till they go back to school. It's like so exciting, just like leave the house and come to work. Traveling, playing volleyball without a mask. Yeah, I'm sure that's a bummer. It's hard to do sports with a mask on. Going out, going back to school. I know, who knew? You could be so excited to go back to school. No masks, interacting with people, going to concerts, visit friends and families, houses, do things I would normally do. Doesn't it feel like so long ago when you could just like go to someone's house? Being able to do stuff and not having to wear a mask, going places, not wearing a mask. Okay, I see. No worries, Gabby, about that. Hanging out with friends more, playing in volleyball tournaments, having school in person. Again, like who knew? Be so exciting to come to school. Traveling, not wearing a mask. Okay. All right, and the other things were just for me. So anyway, yeah, I think we're all on the same page. I would say for sure traveling. I miss that so much. I love to travel, and I've got family in Canada. I've got family in England, and like not seeing them for so long is super hard. So anyway, yeah, I feel you. The mask thing, all of it. So we'll see. Hopefully it'll start getting better slowly. I feel like we might have to wear masks for a while, but maybe we can do some of the other things. So all right, so I'm trying to see here. I think I've heard from everybody that's having computer problems, and that's fine. So let me just remind you, if you cannot turn on your computer, make sure you're there when I call on you. Okay, so that's just kind of how we'll do this. If you can't get your camera on. Okay, let me come back or just I don't know, Gabby, I would say just keep trying at least to get through the notes. I won't be on all periods, so just come back again if you get cut off, and then if not, just follow along on Canvas. Okay, so I've got two things for you to do today. The first I want to talk about, and both of them we're kind of just getting things set up. So you've done Spanish for a while now. Every chapter has grammar, every chapter has vocab. So I like to combine them. I don't like just work on vocab and then just work on grammar. We kind of go back and forth. So we're going to start both of those today. And the main thing I need you to do is like start out being organized. I think, again, we were also new to virtual last semester, that some of you got organized and some of you never did. So we're going to try really hard to get you set up today to be successful. So the first thing we're going to do is a little grammar. And I try not to talk about Spanish grammar for an hour because nobody wants to listen to that. I get it. So once we get set up, I just need like 5 minutes of focus, right? Focus when I tell you, and then you'll get it, and then we can move on. All right. But before we do that, I need you to figure out what you're going to do to keep track of your grammar notes. So let me show you what I've got, and let me show you your options, and then I'll give you a minute to decide how you're going to keep track of stuff. All right. So I just went to my homepage, and I'm going to click on current lesson. And you're going to see under number 2, direct object pronoun notes. All right. So let me tell you what your options are, and then I'll give you a minute to do it. So these are your notes right here. You're going to click on this. If you can print it, that's my number 1 suggestion. If you have a printer, it's just 1 page, go print it right now. Okay. You can actually leave and go do that. If you can't print it because you don't have a printer, then you need to take this document and save it to a Google folder just for Spanish, or make a little folder on your desktop just for Spanish. Okay. I don't know where you want to do it or how you want to do that, but it would be super beneficial to you if you can either print it or Google folder just for Spanish, or folder on your desktop just for Spanish. All right. So I'm going to give you 1 minute from right now to try and figure out where your notes for Spanish are going to go, because I think it'll be super helpful if you have them all in one place. All right. So figure it out. If you have a question, let me know. I'm going to stop sharing real quick just so I can look at my messages that somebody sent me. So it's right here though. This is it. Direct object pronouns. Okay. Then we're going to spend 5 or 10 minutes on it, and we're going to move on. Okay. If you have a question about something, let me know. Okay. So I'm going to go back. These are the notes. So I'm going to have them up on my screen so you can look at it with me. And then if you're typing, you might want to split screen so you can fill in down here at the bottom is where you're going to type some stuff. If you are doing it on paper, then just look at my screen. So you do what works for you. If for some reason nothing's working, you can't make it download, you can't do anything, grab a piece of paper and just write down at the bottom. I'm going to go over this first. When we get to the bottom, just write it out on a piece of paper, right? Again, Spanish notebook, as long as you have it, label it direct object pronouns. I just want you to have your notes somewhere organized. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So again, hopefully by now you have printed or you have put this somewhere where you can deal with it, split your screen if you're doing it online so that you can watch me go through it and then you can start typing when we get down to the bottom, all right? So here we go. We're talking about direct object pronouns. If you have no idea what that is, pay attention. Like I said, I will keep it short and sweet. I need about 5 to 10 minutes, more than 5, maybe less than 10. All right, so get your focus on and get this information. If you've never seen this before, you're super focused. If you've kind of seen it before, you're like, let me just clear this up. So here I go. All right, direct object pronouns. What are those? Well, a direct object tells who or what. All right, I'm gonna give you some sentences in English. I love pizza. What do you love? Pizza. That's your direct object. I wear pants. What do you wear? Pants. That's a direct object. I call my mom. Who do I call? My mom. Okay. I call my friend. Who do I call? My friend. So that's what we ask ourselves to identify the direct object, who or what in your sentence. Okay. Then we have direct object pronouns. So we have words that substitute for the direct object. Instead of saying, I call my mom, you could say, I call her. Instead of saying, I eat pizza, you can say, I eat it. Instead of saying, I wear pants, you can say, I wear them. So we have these words in English. They also exist in Spanish. All right, here they are. So there are 4 direct object pronouns for things. Okay, and then I also added in because they can also mean him and her. So we have lo and la, mean it. We have los and las, mean them. You might be thinking, I thought we were el and la are the, and los and las are the. Well, they are. They can also mean the, so you have to look at the context. All right, you'll notice the L has been replaced by a lo, but the other 3 are the same. Okay, it's just one of those things you have to look at the context. So lo and la, it, los and las, them. Now, lo can also mean him, and la can also mean her. Okay, so those are the first set that we're talking about. It, him, her, them. Then we have 3 more for people. Me is me, te is you, nos is us. Okay, now we're going to kind of divide this up here. So we're going to look at one thing and then we'll make sure you know what that means. So when you have one verb, which is most of the time, you have one option. You must put this direct object pronoun before the verb, before the verb. That's different than in English. If you want to say, I wear them, the them comes after the verb. In Spanish, it's going to come before the verb. So you're kind of saying like, them I wear. Okay, that's what's confusing to people. All right, so let's look at my example here. We're going to skip this pink part here. We're going to look at my example. And here's where I'm going to need a volunteer for a point. And then here's where we're going to jot just a little bit down here. We're going to translate what these mean. And these are your notes. So make sure you are either ready to type them or you are ready to handwrite them if you printed it, or on a piece of paper if you are unable to print it. All right, so I am looking at you and your pictures. So if you would like to participate here and get yourself a point, you either need to physically raise your hand or you click on your name and then it'll raise a little blue hand. Okay. So yo llevo los pantalones is our first one here. Somebody want to tell me what that means? Yo llevo los pantalones. What does that mean? Reginald, start us off.
I wear pants.
I wear pants. Always good advice. Okay, look, I wear pants. Okay, yo llevo los pantalones. Okay, so now you ask yourself, what do you wear? Pants. So pants is your direct object. And then you have to decide, well, what else could you substitute for the word pants? Could you say I wear it or I wear them? Probably because pants is plural, you're going to say I wear them. So you've got los or las. You look at this is a masculine word, los pantalones. So you're going to use the word los to represent them. And you're going to put it in front of your verb. You're going to say, yo los llevo. So somebody else want to raise your hand real quick and tell me what that means. Yo los llevo. If you're with me, get your hand up, get a point. Who wants it? Anybody but Reginald's fair game. He's already got his point. What am I saying? Emma, go for it.
I wear them.
Perfect. Okay, so write this down with me. I wear them. Okay, and the them are referring to pants, which is why they are los, and it's why it's in front of your verb llevo. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to read this pink part, and then we're going to try number 2. When you have 2 verbs, you have 2 options. You can put the little direct object pronoun, those are these little words, before the first verb, like we just did, or you can attach it to the end of the second verb. Okay, so 2 verbs here, 2 options. All right, so let's figure out what our original sentence says. Somebody want to try and give me this one? Instead of yo llevo los pantalones, yo voy a llevar los pantalones. I just added in an extra verb there. Somebody want to translate that sentence for me? Caitlin, go ahead.
I'm going to wear the pants.
Good plan. I'm going to wear pants. Always good advice. Okay, so you'll notice I have 2 verbs. The voy, I'm going, llevar, to wear. You'll notice when I have 2 verbs, here's a good reminder, you always conjugate the first one and not the second. Okay, because you don't want to say I'm going, I wear pants. You say I'm going to wear pants or the pants. Okay, so what am I going to wear? Pants. I know I'm going to use the same word that I'd used up there. I know I have 2 options. Okay, I can either put that little word in front of the first verb or attached to the second. They both mean the same thing. Somebody want to tell me what yo voy a llevar los means? Or yo los voy a llevar. What do those 2 sentences mean? They both mean the same thing. Dawson.
I'm going to wear them.
Perfect. Gracias. So I'm going to wear perfect. Okay, so again, I either attach it to the end of the second one or I put it in front of the first. All right, that's it. Why don't I give you a minute, see if you can figure out what 3 and 4 mean. Okay, 3 and 4 are the same idea. The first one has 1 verb, the second one has 2 verbs. And I just am using these people ones. So it's either got a me, a you, or an us in it. See if you can work out 3 and 4 before we share the answers. You think you've got an answer for me and you haven't gone yet, raise your hand. No worries, Byron. Okay, let's see. Somebody want to try it? What do you think? Pepe me invita. Demetrius, what do you think that means?
Pepe invites me.
Say it one more time.
Pepe invites me.
Perfect. Pepe invites me. There it is. So again, what's confusing is where the may goes, but there's 1 verb, so it has to go in front. Pepe invites me. Okay, it's all about the order here. All right, and what's the second one going to be? Pepe va a invitarnos. JJ, what do you think?
Pepe invites us or something like that.
You're super close. You need this little word va, because there's 2 verbs. Not just he invites us. Look at what it meant up here. He's You see it?
Going to.
Yeah, there it is. So Pepe is going to invite us. There it is. Okay, and again, either I attach it to the end of the second or I put it in front of the first verb. Nos va a invitarnos. I like it on the end because that's the way you say it in English. He's going to invite us, but either way is fine. Okay, so that's it. Okay. So hopefully you've got your notes there. I'll leave them up just for like 30 seconds more. I will dump a copy of those into class resources, but obviously I want you to have these somewhere safe. So either you've written it down or you have it and you're now saving it to your folder. I'm going to let it go for today. I just wanted to kind of get you starting to think about that, and we will come back to it tomorrow. We'll review it and we'll actually do some practice with it. All right, but just to kind of get it started in your head today, that was my goal. All right, I am going to stop sharing this. And now I just want to talk to you about vocab, okay, and what you're going to do for me for vocab. If you had me first semester, it's more or less the same. If you had a different teacher, I don't know how you were doing vocab. So obviously every chapter has a vocab list. And so I find it super important to start out with a good list that you can use, that you can work with. You're going to use it over and over again. So if you don't do it, then not only do you not get the points for not doing it, but then you don't have it to use, and we use it a lot. We're going to use it a lot over the next like 3 or 4 weeks. So you might as well just do it now, get the points for it, and then you have the document to use to help you. Okay. So let me show you how I have this set up. I am just going back to my current lesson for today. And here it is under number 3. If you've had me first semester, just listen super fast, and then I'll let you get started on it. So here's what I always do. I always have my list is here. Okay, and you can see I give it to you in Spanish and you have to come up with the English. So if you're kind of scanning through, I don't know, maybe you can recognize some of these words. There are always cognates. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But it all has to do with the city and where things are located and giving directions. Okay, so this is the list itself. Again, either you print it or you save it to make it, either a Google Doc or save it on your computer as a Word document. However you want to do it is fine. All right, then to fill it in, you're going to use this Quizlet link, which goes through every word in order, so you don't have to look anything up. All right, so every word is there, and I make them together so that they should all be in order. So just make sure that you're writing down the right word, then you don't have to Google anything and risk getting a different translation. Okay, so use the Quizlet. And it says to use the Quizlet cards to fill in the following vocab list, and then submit through Canvas for points. You may type on the document or you can print it and handwrite it. And then you're going to submit it right here. I would assume everybody was submitting things last semester through Canvas. Pretty straightforward. It's a file upload. It's worth 10 points. I'm giving you a couple days, tonight and tomorrow. So always make things due at midnight. So you've got till tomorrow night at midnight. So you've got the rest of the period today. I'll let you work. Then you can work on it tonight. And then you can work on it tomorrow night. Okay. And then you just submit it. The other thing that I would maybe caution you is make sure you've saved it before you submit it. Sometimes it turns in blank. And I think sometimes the problem is that people haven't saved it. So save it first, then submit it. And you can always check the submission to make sure it's not blank, because sometimes like half of it's blank or it's blank, and I won't give you credit for that. I'll just say you can redo it, but you might as well do it right the first time. Okay, so let's see. We've got about 20 minutes officially until lunch. So I am happy to let you go work on your vocab unless you want to stick around and ask me a question about something or touch base about something. You're welcome to leave the Zoom. I will remind you, 7th period starts at 12:45. Okay, so you got loads of time here, hopefully to get some work done on your vocab and then go have a nice lunch. All right. So I will say hasta mañana. And if you have any questions, stick around and we can talk one-on-one. All right. Thanks for coming. Hasta luego.